Hi everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you about the books that I read in the month of March. March was a really good reading month for me. I got around to reading a lot of series that I wanted to finish. So here are the books that I read in the month of March. So I'm going to start off with the Infernal Devices. I did get around to reading these all this month. So we got Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and then Clockwork Princess. Now I can't get in too much with those second two books are about, because obviously I would spoil it. But Clockwork Angel is about this girl named Tess, and she was living with her aunt in America, and when her aunt dies she has to move to London to be with her brother, and there she gets kidnapped by these people called the Dark Sisters, and so much happens, but I don't want to say any more because it obviously gives away. This is set in the same world as the Mortal Instruments, but before, like, the Mortal Instruments was more today's time. This was set in 1878, and it is great. I love it. I can't give it enough. I gave all three books a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So next book that I read that I started was The Assassin's Heart by Sarah. I don't want to mispronounce her last name, so I'm just going to not say it. But The Assassin's Heart is basically about, there are these different families. It's set in a fantasy world, kind of like today's Italy. So it's set, so they have different families, and these families are all assassins, and they all like kind of rival each other. There's like a whole hierarchy. The only thing I can kind of compare it to is like different mob families, I guess. But there's this one 17-year-old Leah, and she belongs to the top family, and she actually falls in love with this other kid, this other boy from one of the different families. That's what the story's about. Basically what happens is she goes home one day and finds out that all of her family is dead, and now she's out for vengeance, and she's gonna find who she really is. And it's a great book, and I looked it up on Goodreads and it said The Assassin's Heart 1, so I don't know if there's gonna be more books, if it's a series standalone, but it's really good. The next series that I got around to reading, which was, I finished the series now, so it's the Deluxe Series. I read both Opal and Origin, and then Opposition. So I read the third, the fourth, and the fifth book. I really like this series. It's been a while since I read the first one, so the first book is called Lux the Beginning, which it looks kind of like this but backwards. And Lux is about a girl named Kat, and she is she's a book blogger, which is kind of interesting. You know, you don't really see that too much in books. And she moves to this new town, and she meets her neighbors, and she finds out that her, I don't know if this is technically a spoiler. Let me see what the back says. First book is called, yeah, so it does say it on the back of the book. But he's an alien, so it's kind of a paranormal romance. It was really good. I read, like I said, I read the third, the fourth, and the fifth book. I gave them all a 4 out of 5 stars, so it's really good. I don't want to give away too much. Like I said, they're kind of the ending of the series. The next one I read was this one. I picked it up at Walmart, and it's The Daring Sacrifice by Jody Held. No, not going there. So this is a small, relatively small book. Kind of helped me get out of my reading slump. It is about a girl. It's about, yeah, a girl. And she was kind of like the princess of this kingdom, where her and her dad ruled it. Well, her uncle and her cousin came, and they overthrew them. I think he killed her dad. Well, she got away, and now she lives out in the woods. And one day she robs this one guy and finds out that it's a lord, and things kind of happen. After I read it, I went and, I was doing my Goodreads I was on my Goodreads page, clicking it and stuff, and I found out that it's actually the second book in this series. I didn't know, and when I read the synopsis of the first book, it really has nothing to do with her, so it's a different story completely. It's about a different girl, like I said. So I think you can get away with reading the second book without reading the first book. It is kind of it's kind of spoiler, but it's not really. So another book series I'm so happy that I finally finished. I don't know why I stopped the first time I read the first book, but oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And that is the third and the fourth book from the Arcana Chronicles. So I read Endless Night and Dead of Winter, and oh my gosh, gave me all the feels. I can't really go into it because this is the second and third book of a series. But oh my gosh, if you want to read it, the first book is called Poison Princess, and it is by Kresley Cole. So it's hard for me to explain this because there's so much to it. So basically it kind of happens after what they call the Flash, and it kills almost everyone in the world. Well, this one girl, Evie, she and her mom is there, and it's kind of what happens afterwards. It really doesn't have to do with the, I can't really say it without giving it away what it is. My suggestion is to just jump in and read it. I can't wait to see what happens in the next book, and it's killing me. Another book series that I kind of got around to not finishing it, I'm nowhere close to being finished with it, but I got back into was the Outlander series, and I read Dragonfly and Amber. This book comes the second half this season comes out on Stars the 8th, so I wanted to get April 8th, I think. So I wanted to get reading it. I figured this would take me so long to read, and it did it. Because when you start this book, read it, and read it quickly, because after you read this book, you're gonna be like, oh gosh. And it's a big book, but you just read it quickly, and just read it. I do suggest, if you are just starting Outlander, which you should, everyone should read Outlander, take a minute to breathe before you jump into Dragonfly and Amber. That's the only thing I'm going to give you. Just take a minute, read something else. Trust me, because when you get this, you're going to have to read it quickly. And I don't have to tell you, because if you read the synopsis or you read the first chapter, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. But no, read this, read it quickly, because once you read it, you're going to want to jump into Voyager, just like I did. And this book is even bigger than that one. So I did read both of these, and they were both good. I have to say I love Dragonfly and Amber a lot more than I did Voyager. So, but Jamie and Claire, some of those books I was just thinking, like, really, Jamie, really, that's how you're going to do it? I just don't get people. Men are the same in all centuries. Another book that this is to do with his brother, not him, his brother. So this one's about Jared Sinclair, and he is kind of like your typical playboy, rich, I mean typical, and he meets Mara Ross, I'm mistaken. I don't know how to describe this book without giving it too much away. It's really short, it's really easy, they're really quick. Both of them are really good. I gave them 4 out of 5 stars. I actually like the second one maybe a smidge more than I like the first one, but they were great, easy reads. Okay, the next book I read was Mastered by Maya Banks. I think that's how you say her name. And this is about a girl, and she goes to this club, and she gets sent to the owner's office to talk to him because her and her ex-boyfriend was kind of getting into an altercation in the lounge. And at first she's like, oh my gosh, I'll just leave. Well, he kind of wants her as his own, and she agrees to it. So that kind of starts the relationship. Now, the book sounds like the same premise of a lot of other books that I probably read, and it's true, it probably does, but the ending, boy, the ending, I loved it, and it's left kind of on a cliffhanger, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait. The next book comes out May 3rd, I think. It was great. Like I said, I would definitely read this, and I put this over a lot of the other books that I have read in this kind of genre, so it's really, really good. I highly recommend it. These next two books are by some of my favorite authors. Just putting it out here. One book that I also read is The Best Goodbye by Abby Glines, and this is like, seven, 8, 9, 10, but the 12th book in the series. So, and it is great. It was really good. It's about River, or Captain, which is, we found out in the other book series, is Blair's brother and his story. And I really love this one. I can't help it. I love all of her books, especially in the Fallen Too Far series, or the Rosemary Beach, not like a Rosemary Beach series, or whatever it's called. So it's about him and his love story. Like I said, I don't want to get too much because I feel like I'm giving everything away, and I don't want, especially since this is like the 3rd or 4th book, it kind of ruins some of the other books. So, the book I just read. It's Jamie McGuire's last book in the Maddox Brothers series, I guess that's what it is. And that is Beautifully Burned, and this is Tyler's story. And I had to say, honestly, out of all of them, this was probably my least favorite, but it was still good and I still enjoyed it. It just not as much as I wanted to, and especially with it being the last series and it was kind of bigger than the other books. Yeah, I'm gonna have a discussion about this book on a different channel, not a different channel, but on a different video. So, and those are all the books that I read in the month of March. If you want me to do a review on any of them, just let me know and I can surely do that. Like I said, this month was a really good reading month for me, and I really don't do TBRs because I don't really know what I want to read next. I just kind of jump into it. I just read what I want to read. I don't really want to put a schedule on that. So I hope everyone had a wonderful reading month.